But urbexing trip. What an amazing day. So basically I've been meaning to go urbexing for a while, but I've never been able to. So I googled some places when we were in the New Forest, and Linford Park Nursing Home came up. So I decided that I wanted to go there. So my parents and I went, and we drove around for days. Well, I say days. We went 2 days in a row to try and look around Ringwood for this nursing home. We looked and we could not find anything. We went to like Linford, Linwood, Ringwood. We went to everywhere around that area. We could not find it.
It was like
whatsoever.
a cat, but it was like really
Eventually, we found where it was on Google Maps. We guessed it was where it was on the satellite view. So we walked up this track. As you can see, I'm walking with my dog, my dad, and my mum. Since I can't drive, they're gonna have to take me everywhere. So they're gonna be in every video so far. So we walked up this track, and I thought I could see some cat in the forest, like quite a big cat. Obviously there's no wild cats in England, we're very boring, but it still scared me. I was trying to make myself exhilarated and scared because I love going out and doing things like this, even though I'm really scared of things like this. But around this corner was meant to be where the nursing home was. Now Linford Park Nursing Home was closed in 2010 for the staff abusing their residents there. There was 17 arrests and 12 immigration charges. There was 1 theft, and 4 staff who were believed to be those running the home were part of that arresting. So it wasn't very good. So it closed down in 2010, and it's been abandoned since then. So I decided to go there, and this is it. They've already started construction. Such a horrible thing. I was so excited to try and sneak my way in, but nope. The people on site, there's cameras on site, they've already started construction. Their plans are for it to be finished by next year, whatever they're building. It was really sad. There was some guy on top of the hill to our left that was dumping out some grass on the ground, so we had to go quick, but I managed to get a few photos. So that was one good thing about that trip up there. At least we found it, but couldn't go inside. So I was losing all hope that I'd ever be able to visit an abandoned place at this point in time, which is on my bucket list, which is now ticked off, but I'll talk about that in a sec. So these are some of the photos that I got. So if you look on some websites like derelictplaces.co.uk, people got such good photos inside the building. Everything is still there. It looked like it had been abandoned and left pretty quickly, like spontaneously, but I think they've removed all of that now, so I just managed to get pictures of the outside construction work, and I was so, I'm still so annoyed about it. It would have been such a nice place to go explore, especially during the day. So you can see someone was staying in the caravan there as well. So on the way up there was 2 sides. There was the left side and the right side. And before we got there, on the left side there was these buildings, and they looked very abandoned. I have no idea what it is, but I might go back and check it out. So they were just sort of dilapidated. I had to get photos really quick. It was pretty difficult to get them, but I think I did an alright job. You can sort of see, I mean, there's a lot of trees and fences in the way. So that was like the entrance. There's a big H on it, rusted H, and it said it sold antiques or something on the sign to the left. I wasn't able to read it properly. But as we went further down, on the left hand side, there was another sort of section for a business with these weird sort of striped gates, and there was a sign which said it was for police dog training. I don't know if I've actually added that into this video yet, but it was very weird. So you can see here, we're just walking up to it. There's a sign here that says it will rebuild some buildings in that sort of side of the road, but it's currently being used for police dog training. And so on the other side is the actual Holton Heath laboratories. We went to Holton Heath laboratories. Now this was abandoned quite sort of recently. That's the main gate up to it. It's gate number 3, so it's on the main road. The rest of the gates, I couldn't find 2. That was gate 3, the other one was gate 2. Don't know where gate 1 is, couldn't find it. Sorry, I'm filming the pavement quite a lot here, but that's the gate. It's pretty cool, big and rusted. So I decided to quickly cross the road. If I ever do quickly cross the road. There we go. So yeah, there is a lot of signs up saying there's CCTV cameras and such. I don't really care at this point. I think it's just scaremongering, so I decided to record through the bars. And you can see there the big building and then a small sort of shack building. That's the main building, I think. It's very overgrown. There's a lot of graffiti on it. I got quite a few clips, photos of this building, as it looked pretty big and important, and it was at the front. And then I got a picture of the small building as well. There's a lot of other buildings. This one had a broken window on the door, and there was a little sign saying danger, keep out, risk of death and stuff like that. So I tried to take a photo of the inside. Couldn't see much because I was a bit too low down. That's like another sort of building area, and all the windows are smashed. You can see shards of glass sticking around the outside of the frame, and it was so cool. I was so hyped to see if I could find a way in, and that's like a little small building on the outside as well. Some more broken windows. There was a lot of graffiti, which made me pretty sad. There's a Nazi sign in that house, apparently. A swastika was in the building. I didn't see it, but my mum said, oh look, there's a Nazi symbol. Like, okay mum, thanks for pointing that out. Trust you to see those things. So, I got so many photos. I was so excited. This one was especially cool. I really wanted to go in that one because the windows were big enough for me to fit through if I could get in there. And there was a ladder on the outside. There was a ladder. It was like I could just climb up that and have an overlook of the whole place. There was a lot of different buildings there as well. So I tried to get as many photos as possible, as you can see here. I'm not even going to crop the time that I show you all of them down because it just was too good. This is the other side again, the side owned currently, I think. Well no, it's actually coming up. This one is still the Holton Heath side. But coming up is the other side. I tried to look for an entrance and I couldn't find one. I did find this gate, but it didn't lead anywhere. It was just like a little area of dirt. And then we kept walking up and down, and I decided to take photos of the other side that was owned by a different company. And there were some abandoned buildings there, even though it's being used. Like, this was connected to a larger building, and the larger building looked like it was being used and it was modern because there was a satellite dish and it wasn't as overgrown. But these sort of outcropping buildings, they were so messy and dilapidated. Now this is a photo of the main gate of the Holton Heath laboratories again. I'm sorry I keep going back and forth, it's just the order in which I took the photos. So we walked up and down this road like twice. I think I got photos of the same buildings over and over again, but I was just so excited I didn't care. But then I saw this metal fence near the bottom, near where we parked. We parked at the bottom of the road, and I saw this metal fence on the way up. There's like a sign saying Allied with another company. That's the gate that I saw, number 3. But there was a metal fence, and I decided that I wanted to go through and see what it was like, so that comes up in a sec. Oh, coming up is a sign showing that the police dog training on the other side. I wondered where that photo was. Dorset police dog training, keep out. So, don't know. But then the metal gate that I wanted to go down, it was a path leading to the National Nature Reserve. So I went down it.
Oh yeah, he's got a little dogo. Well, I say little, big dogo. Dogo.
So we were walking my dog down this path, and there was this owner with a huge dog, like German Shepherd Lab cross, I think he said. Now this is a bit that might look a bit scary to everyone who doesn't understand, so I'm going to try and explain as best as I can in the time that I've got. This dog was a rescue dog. His name was Bluey, and he had a collar on and a lead that said nervous. Because he's a rescue dog and he's big, that needs to be obvious that he's nervous and that he's going to have some sort of problem socialising with dogs. Now here's the clip that could be pretty scary. Our dog's only a baby, and Bluey wanted to meet. They both wanted to meet, they were both excited, but as you can see here, Bluey was barking and sort of snapping. But that's because he's a rescue and he's very nervous. He doesn't know how to react, how to behave. His owner was absolutely amazing about this. He made sure that both dogs were safe. They were both safe. He had a good hold on Bluey. But Twiglet, being Twiglet, is very paws. He uses his paws a lot. He's very bouncy, over the top, just wants to play. So that could be very daunting for this rescue dog, which was the main problem. As you can see, he's just like very cautious to Twiglet because he doesn't know how to behave because of him being a rescue. He was being very good actually. He was reacting very nicely. So please don't be worried that he's snapping and lunging, because he's being trained by his owner. It's just very difficult to explain without it looking horrible, but it was a very, very good dog compared to what most rescue dogs you see are. He's just being rehabilitated, so it may have looked scary, and it was a bit scary to me, but I understood that neither dogs were going to get hurt because both of us, both owners, were being very safe about it. But anyway, we went round the back of this fencing, and there was a gap here that was bent out of place. Obviously someone had been in here before, so it was a sort of an entrance to get in. There was quite a big gap. I measured myself up against it and I was like, I think I can fit through here. I've got quite a large bust. I'm not the skinniest person, but I thought I could fit. We didn't go through the first time. Didn't go through. I was too scared. I'm very cowardly when it comes to this sort of stuff. But we continued walking on ahead. I took some photos and videos of the buildings around the back of this area. This is the building around the back. But we decided to walk on. There was a hut at the end of the path. I saw it and I didn't know what it was. It could have been abandoned. It wasn't within the fencing, so it was easy to reach. But my dad knows how to make me scared. My mum was doing it, my dad was doing it. When I was going near any fencing, I was like, I wonder if there's any spiders. And then my parents would be like, no, there's probably not. And then my mum would go, watch out for the giant spider though. Oh god, petrified me. I hate them both for that. It kept happening. They kept saying, oh, watch out for that spider or something, or oh, there's a spider, and oh god, it scared me so much. But anywho, look at these cool photos, man. Cool buildings. But we decided to walk on, as I said, and then my dad, being my dad, said, oh, we may want to check for ticks after this. I'm petrified of ticks. I cannot stand the idea of having a bug embedded in my flesh and then trying to pry it off, and its head might get embedded in my leg. No thank you. So I was like, yeah, we're turning around immediately. This is the point where we turn around and go back, because my dad was like, you need to be careful of ticks. And then I tried to turn around to record the hut. I might go back into that hut if we ever return. I probably won't. I might do. I mean, I didn't get any ticks. Nobody picked up any ticks from that walk, so it should be okay to go and see the hut again. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it goes if I ever go back there. So since we're going back, we passed by the gap in the fence again. I am so conflicted. I cannot handle it. I'm like, I want to go through, I can't go through, I'm petrified, but I really want to go through, I need to do it. And then my dad was like, well, go on then, and I started, and then I stopped because I was scared, and he gave me a 10-second countdown to get through the gap, or we were leaving. I didn't want to leave, I wanted to go see what was inside these cool abandoned buildings. I've never done it before, I've always wanted to, so I had to go through. I had to ignore my brain, ignore the thumping feeling in my chest, and just get on and do it. At this point I was like worrying, contemplating, trying to go through, not being able to. My dad was just trying to make me, but then saying, if you don't want to do it, then let's just go. So I had to do it. I couldn't just not. I was so scared though. It's like exhilarating but petrifying. If you've ever done something similar to this, you will understand, but most of you probably won't. It was painful to do, and the outcome, I'm so glad I managed to make myself do it. So this is me going through. It was a bit of a squeeze, but it wasn't too bad going in. I got a little bit stuck, but then my mum took the dog and my dad decided to come through. You can see that's a bit of a squeeze for him. I can't lift my leg up very high in jeans, and I was wearing jeans, so it was a nightmare to get across. And then my dad was like, "I'll just push through the bushes." So I was exhilarated, adrenaline was thumping through me. I had to push through the bushes and ignore any bugs. This was the best bit. I was getting so excited coming up to the doorway. Look at that, you can see inside. It's empty, it's super cool, it's dark, it's creepy, it's awesome. And my dad was like, oh, you don't want to be going in there, because I was wearing normal school shoes. They're like pumps, they're flat, they're really thin, there's glass all over the floor. So I managed to get some photos from the window. They're not the best photos, obviously, because it's from the outside, it's from the window. Quite well lit up though. Well, the first one was anyway. But then I managed to convince my dad to let me through into the actual building. I said, it's not going to go through my shoes, I've walked over glass many times before, I'll be okay. So he let me in. It's very strict, my dad. So yeah, I managed to go in. I really should have worn trainers, I do regret it, because we could have gone round for longer. But oh, it was so cool. Look at that fire exit sign, it's just ripped off its hinges. There was a load of graffiti on the walls. In the corner you can see there's loads of stuff, like a paint bucket I guess, and broken bits all over the floor. Oh, it was so cool. There was people's Snapchats on the wall, graffiti everywhere. The doorway was so eerie. And then I went into the corridor, and this was the corridor. Look how cool that is. But unfortunately, because there was a lot more glass in this corridor, I wasn't allowed to go any further, so I couldn't see what was in those cool, eerie rooms. I really want to know, but we had to leave. It was getting a bit late, and I wasn't allowed to go any further with my shoes, so apparently we were being really loud. But nobody told us off, nobody was around, so I think the fact that they have security cameras is just a scaremonger, and there was no security on site as far as we saw. So we squeezed back out. I bruised my ass on the way out. It was a lot more of a squeeze going back than it was going in. Plus I did it in a different direction. I faced a different way. It was probably that movement that made me hurt myself. This is where my dad was holding the camera so I could go through. Could have at least recorded me, I know. Bad camera ship, but hey ho. So yeah, I actually went into an abandoned building. I trespassed, and then I could not stop talking about it on the way out. I was like, oh my god, I can't believe I did that, that was absolutely amazing. So yeah, we quickly made it back to my mum, and that was my little adventure.
One day I'll come back.
So it was so cool. I'm really glad I went there. Oh, I've got some history actually to tell you guys about this place as well, so I will say that in a sec. So Holton Heath Laboratories is basically a lab which used cordite to make explosives, and it was set up here because it was far away from any sort of population, and it was set up by Winston Churchill. I'm not sure when, I didn't actually have a look, but they made cordite, which was for explosives, as I said, probably for the war or something. So there's a jetty nearby in Poole that would take all the cordite away and ship it off. And this is my dad's hand. It was pretty bloody because when we met the dog, Twiglet was pulling like mad and my dad was trying to hold him back, and there's like the cord ripped some of his skin because we used an extendable lead and it's got cord. It ripped some of his skin and it was bleeding profusely even though it was a small cut. This was the aftermath. It's just dried blood here. He tried to clean up as much as possible. But yeah, that was the adventure. Thank you guys for watching. I will be sure to try and do some more urbexing soon.